we're glad to be joining you again on a Wednesday and just to be sharing about God's amazing gifts that He's given us for free. Like, we totally want to partner with God. That's our heart, is just to have be good stewards of our bodies, a vessel that God gave to us for free. We've got amazing ways to keep up with our bodies, amazing ways to feed our bodies, amazing ways to get free gifts. And that's what we're talking about today, free gifts. So, Mom, you were going to share a little bit about some of the free gifts that He's given us that we can take advantage of.
I love when you talk about partnering with God, because my health journey is not perfect, but that has been the difference maker. Just like it is in our spiritual life, that difference maker is just partnering with God, because He created us. He's the one that created the laws of the universe, and He's the one that knows. And so He just directs us, and we just tweak it along the way as we seek Him, and He shares with us. But one of the things that I've learned in studies, and it just lines up with God and His Word and who He is how beneficial the sun is for us. You know that it's beneficial for plants, and you see what it does for plants. And for generations prior to our current generation, people were out in the sun, and it brought good things to them. So we have gone from being sun worshipers, which of course we don't ever want to worship the sun, we want to worship the God who made it. But we've let the pendulum swing so far from that to now we're like have sun phobia.
Yeah.
And we just lather up with sunscreen, obviously, on a day like today.
Yeah.
You're going to have to take some precautions, but on a daily basis, our body needs sun. There is a vitamin D deficiency in our nation, and so Christina's going to read a little bit from an article by Dr. Mercola, Mercola.com. He does things in conjunction with Dr. Oz quite often. I think he's very reputable, and what he shares is backed up by studies. And I enjoy his site if you want to do some research there. But there are so many others that are just confirming that we actually have an epidemic in our nation of a vitamin D deficiency. And one of the best places to get that deficiency filled is with the sun. But before I turn it over to Christina, if I can just remind you of a few other things, and we don't have time today to talk about all of them, but these are ways that God has given us the sun to interact in our bodies. We were talking about greens last week, and did we say we weren't going to talk about greens
We
today?
did. We actually did say we weren't going to talk about greens.
May I just point this little thing out, because
Yes.
in the same book that we've talked about, Dr. Greger's How Not to Die, he has a segment in there about how after we eat greens or drink greens, that the sun interacts with our body and produces CoQ10. Now, some of you may know that as a supplement that people pay a lot of money for.
Yeah.
And yet God has given us the ability free to produce that as the sun interacts with our body. And if you've ever seen a kid take a flashlight and put it on their hand at night and you can see things going through, well, the sun can penetrate our body. So when we put good things in our body, the sun is doing good things for us in our body, of course in moderation. And that is just one of the many things, the circadian rhythm, and I don't even know if I pronounced that properly, but I've read about it just as it helps our sleep and helps our biological clock, that God has given us that with the sun. Moods are improved through the sun, and just we could go on and on. I know that even heart health, which is related to CoQ10, vitamin D is involved in so many aspects of our body. So as we're here at the beach today, we just wanted to say, hey, God, you are amazing, and you have given us amazing things, and this free sun that you gave us is one of those things. So in just a second, Christina or I will share just about how much sun per day that the experts are saying. We're not trying to go against anything your doctor's saying. We're not doctors. Obviously we want you to do the things you need to do, but you need to know also that the sun can be a gift. So Christina,
Okay, hold on though, real quick. So what you're telling me is that I sometimes have to break it like so simple. Some of you out there are brilliant, like my mom. But for me, something so simple. So you're saying that like the greens that I'm eating in my salads, that the greens that I'm mixing in with my smoothies, that's actually like interacting with the sun and doing even better things in my body when the sun...
Absolutely.
Like, huge light bulb, right? When my mom told me this, I'm like, what? Yeah, so it's going into our bodies and like kind of almost awakening or releasing better things even more things than just the antioxidants and the nutrients and the vitamins that we're getting with the greens that we're
Right.
drinking and eating.
Right.
That's amazing, guys. And I know that what you were saying, like back 50 years ago, people were out, they were farming and they were outside. They weren't stuck right here in our phone, you know? So yeah, it's amazing to me that something as simple and free as the sun that God gave us to use all the time, we have at our disposal. We can do this, you know?
Right.
Yeah, and that's what some of these things by Dr. Marcola, it says, when you're exposed to sunlight, many important biological processes occur in your skin, not just vitamin D production. Pause right there. How many of you are on vitamin D? Like, I've heard so many people
Right.
recently that say,
Epidemic.
well, my doctor said I need vitamin D. And why is that? Oh my goodness, we could totally get into that. That's another call for another day. But yeah, here's one really simple way. Okay, it says swallowing oral vitamin D, what we were just talking about, according to many experts, is clearly an inferior alternative. Okay, so if you're taking that, maybe pause right there. Let's talk a little bit more, because there's some great ways what we were just discussing with the greens and just getting outside. Last but not least, this is one of the things that we thought was really important. It says, ironically, recent research shows that vitamin D also improves survival outcomes for melanoma patients. It's also important for cognitive health, immune function, healthy pregnancy, and infant development and strong, healthy bones, just to name a few. Those are some important few, I would say.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And, you know, it's just remarkable to me that it's God that has given us this gift, and we want to do it in balance. Obviously, you know, we don't need to lay out for 5 hours in the sun and then expect, you know, so we don't want to burn. But look this up if you want to online. What I have read is about 15-20 minutes a day of the sun, and on as much of your body as you can realistically. You know, just in the summertime we have great opportunity to be out in our shorts and tank tops, and like a day like today, you know, we'll absorb a little bit before we feel like we have to lather on the suntan lotion. We have a beautiful
Another expert who's getting some great sun.
Sorry, couldn't resist. So anyway, all that to say, I just am in awe of God. Romans 1:20, I'll let Christina read it to you because I don't quite have it memorized yet. I want to.
Yeah, it says, Romans 1:20, for since the creation of the world, God's invisible qualities, his eternal power and divine nature have been clearly seen, being understood from what has been made, so that people are without excuse.
And the sun is just one more of those things that just point to him and his creation and who he is. And this is a love story. I believe his food, the things he made, the sun, and so many things that we don't even understand.
Right.
We're understanding some of this because science is telling us, well,
Yeah.
you know what? It was there for us long before science was there to tell us. God has been there with the sun and with so many other things. So thank you for partnering with us, and mostly partnering with God on our health journey, and just ask him to lead and guide you on this path, and I know that he will. He has been so faithful to us. When we partner together, it just makes life more fun.
It is. It's awesome to be here with you. So thanks for joining us, and have an awesome day.
Bless you big.